As you guys may know, Tory Lanez is currently in jail serving a 10-year sentence for being convicted of shooting R&B artist Meg Thee Stallion. He's tried to get appeal after appeal, and he's faced denial after denial, but he finally, I guess, sat down with NBC, and it's looking like he's going for the court of public opinion with the whole Megan Thee Stallion stuff as opposed to fighting in the courts, even though I'm sure his legal team is still following appeal after appeal based on new information that may have not been made aware to his defense during the trial.
Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me.
Now, here's the thing, guys. If you know the story, it was the best friend who likely shot at Meg, who likely shot on a gun, but she had immunity. And if I'm not mistaken, her DNA was never collected to be on the firearm, and her hands was never tested for gunshot residue. And neither was Meg Thee Stallion's. So there you have that. And in order to fire the gun, like if you fire the gun any amount of times, you're going to have your DNA on it. The DNA evidence was inconclusive. It couldn't say if his DNA was on there or if it wasn't on there, but it was definitely DNA on the gun. But they can't say 100% if it was Torey's. Now, if you shot that gun as many times as, I think it was like 5 times, his DNA would have transferred. But, what do I know?
And I've never really had a chance to express that. But you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one. I never had one. And I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is completely incorrect and it's wrong.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial. Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion.
They said 60 fraudulent errors in the medical records per TMZ.
Whose real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raise questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove, because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
Yeah, I just don't see him getting a new case. I just don't see it. He should have testified. He should have called out the best friend. It's so many things he could have done, but he chose not to testify because I guess he was scared that they would make him look bad. He chose not to say, hey, someone else was fighting that night. Sometimes, the truth still sets you free, but then again, maybe he was just following his lawyer's instructions not to testify.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
What has life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully,
they tried to kill him.
I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally, I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. I almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
I think that
Like, I'd be like, bitch, you know your former best friend shot your ass. But it's a day late and a dollar short, man. I think he should have took the stand. I think he should have implicated Kelsey. I think that's the best friend's name, as a possible shooter.
I wouldn't say something directly to her. I would like that moment to happen in person. We've both gone through a lot. There's this connotation that like I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I genuinely passed that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And when I talk about my case, I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that. I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the evidence.
Bro, they are not about to get this fool another chance, man. They not. It just is what it is. I know he spent millions of dollars, and a lot of people in the industry who are not aligned with Rock Nation seem to support him, and they feel like he's innocent or may know other information that indicate that he's innocent and won't say it publicly because he was convicted. And it's his own fault for putting himself in that situation. So I guess there's some accountability there. But nah, man, she lied on you, dog. She lied on him to boost his career. My personal opinion, you know, she's trying to sue people for coming at her about it. She just sued Malago Grams or whatever and won like $50,000 for defamation or something. I mean, not even, was it defamation? I think it was defamation. Not defamation, it was like slander because she reposted a AI prawn or something.
And ask if this was fair.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom.
That's right. His legal team
He's not getting no goddamn pardon from Gavin Newsom. He's smoking dope.
has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
All right.
Now, do I think his sentence should be commuted? Yeah. Typically, people who get convicted of what he got convicted of, they get like 2 years. 2 years. He got 10. So maybe that'll happen. I'm not for sure. I think he's gonna spend all 10 years in jail. Maybe 8. Maybe 8. May hit him with serving 80% or 75%. So 7.5 years. But I don't think this was the best look for Tory Lanez. I think his lawyer should have just kept him fighting in prison and following the paperwork, because the judge is going to see this, right? Whoever is overlooking his appeal is going to take this interview right here into consideration. But let me know what you think. This is a good look or bad look for Tory Lanez, and I'll see you next video. Peace.